The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. Welcome to the only show about Spartan Dawgs, hosted by Spartan Dawgs. This is Sparta MSU. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn, along with my co-host, Jehuu Caulcrick. Caulcrick. Otis is tending to some family business right now, but he's here with us in spirit. Don't you worry one bit. If this is your first time to the show, we want to welcome you. If this is not, we want to thank you. Seen some people in here really early, and Raven, I mean, you nobody beat Raven today. Nobody in the chat. Man, that's dedication. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps a whole lot. Doesn't cost you a thing. And follow us on all of our social media platforms at This is Sparta MSU. Let us know where you're watching from. We got some interesting places. We're going to get to that in a minute. But it is rivalry week. It's Michigan week. So
Michigan week.
Yes, sir. No class. That's what it used to be back in the day. You got to go to class now. Don't listen to me. But back in the day,
you still don't have online class.
Mandatory, now. No class. Remember Lorenzo when we had Lorenzo White on talking about coach. But yeah, happy rivalry week.
It's rivalry week. Get ready for it. I don't care what the records are when it gets to this point in this week. All the record books go out the door. I don't care what you're ranked. It's about that in-state rivalry.
100%. And like, if you're listening, let us know. Go to our social medias and let us know what is your fondest memory, your favorite memory of Michigan State beating the school down the road. Today is an anniversary of one of those moments, but let us know what your favorite moment of all time is, and we'll put it on the show. So we can talk about that on Thursday's show. Chew. Oh, man, we have a jam-packed show. We've got great guests coming on here. We got to break down the Rutgers game. We're going to talk about Midnight Madness and all the great things that happened over the weekend.
Can I introduce the first guest when we get to that point?
Do the honors right now.
The first guest we have coming on, I've been riding with this guy from day one. I told everybody, Kim is him. I said it from day one, all the way. Been riding with this guy. Every game I go, hey, what's up to him? Ask him how he's feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sparta family. Welcome for the first time on the show, Jonathan Kim.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Jonathan. Oh, man.
How'd you like that intro?
I'm flattered. Thank you.
Jeez. I mean, man, you got to cut. So half of the NIL deals you get go to Chew, just so we know. We'll get that clear. Man, so Jonathan, big season going on. Graduate transfer out of the University of North Carolina, the real Jordan school. And, talk a little bit about your journey. Like, when did you start playing football? Did you start with soccer? Talk about that.
Yeah, so I started playing soccer. My dad played soccer in college, and so me and my brother both grew up playing soccer. And I played soccer up until junior year of high school, and so I started playing football freshman year, and it literally just started because my best friend's dad was the coach for the freshman football team, and he was like, we need a kicker. Do you want to kick for us? And so I went out and I started lifting in 8th grade with the football team. And they also asked me to play receiver. And so for the first day or two, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I didn't want to learn play. So I just went over and was kicking with the varsity kicker after 3 days.
Oh, so you had a little bit more leg than the varsity guys, what you're trying to say.
No. He coached me up a lot. He helped me out.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Chew, you're good. Don't worry about that.
So my question to you, Jonathan, before we get into all your accolades and everything like that, I want to, confess. All right, you're the first kicker since Brett Swenson that I've actually liked. All right. So I was not a fan of kickers because kickers have always let me down. I've had some bad experiences with kickers through games. But the question I want to ask is, and you know this, and I'm not saying anything that's blasphemy or anything like that, but why are kickers like wired differently?
I feel like we have to be, because we might only get one chance a game, whereas other positions can go out and in one drive they'll get maybe 10 to 20 opportunities to do something, whereas as a specialist you might get one a game. Like you might get one field goal, you might get one punt, you might get one kickoff, and you need to go and capitalize on that opportunity. So we have to be wired differently.
Good point. When you talk about being wired differently, and like when you played soccer, did you know that you like what? So it's just your friend that was a coach. His dad was a coach of the freshman team. But when did you know, like, hey, I can be good at this?
I think it was sophomore year. I went to a bunch of different camps just because I wanted to get better. Not necessarily thinking about college, but just thinking about, it's fun. Why not try and get better at it? And then my dad and my mom took me all up and down the East Coast to go to a bunch of camps. And, I squared up pretty well against the next guy. So we figured, why not take a shot at college?
So you went on the camp circuit. Okay. I like to hear that.
Yeah. So then you started off your career at North Carolina, Chapel Hill, wearing that beautiful, as you correct me there, that Carolina blue. What was it that attracted you to that?
Well, so out of high school, I had three walk-on offers. One to Eastern Michigan, one to VMI. VMI ended up giving me a scholarship. ODU was a walk-on, and then UNC was another walk-on. And just thinking about football and academics, UNC is an incredible academic school, so why not go there and get to play Power 5 football as well?
And so when you were there at North Carolina, you did mostly just the place kicking, correct? You didn't do any field goals or extra points, right?
Yeah, I did kickoffs.
Yeah, and then so when you what was it with that opportunity to come to Michigan State? Was it the fact that you would get an opportunity for field goals and kickoffs as well? That's what really drew you in. But what was the opportunity? What was that like?
Well, so I knew about the kicking situation last year, and I talked to some of the guys, and my coach Dan Warner was like, "This is a great opportunity. Both of their starters have left, so this is just a great opportunity for you to go and fill in a hole that they've missed." And like the other schools that had offered me had other kickers there, and they were all pretty good kickers. And so I just felt like this was just the best opportunity to win that starting job. But just like mainly, the main goal for me, because I felt as if I could go and kick anywhere. I didn't feel as if I felt like I could beat anybody out. But the biggest thing that I told coaches is that I want to go to a place where I can grow my faith. And this has absolutely been an incredible place for me to grow my faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talk about, that, faith being a big part of it. And I remember after, that long field goal, which we're going to get into at Iowa, the longest field goal in Kinnick Stadium, Otis Wiley, our counterpart here, and I were on the sideline. We came to you, we're like, man, what are your thoughts going in? And you said, it was all God, guiding it and leading it there. What has been that, because there's a lot of you guys, on the team here, the Tuesday night athletes in action. What has been, how important is that, and how important is it to the team and yourself?
Man, so I'm really, really close with Caleb and Nate Carter, and they're both really strong believers, and just having that community and knowing that I can go to them and we can just talk about our faith together, go get dinner. That has been a huge support system for me, and just seeing there's a hunger that's stirring within the team for God. And, people will just come up, and it's almost like an everyday conversation with people. People will openly ask me questions. And, I just think it's a great opportunity for not only me to just grow my faith, but also help spread it to other people who are curious and are looking for something that can only fill the hole in the heart. Like you talked about, kicker's always disappointing you. And frankly, if you ever put your faith in a human, then you're always going to end up disappointed. The only person who won't ever disappoint you is God.
That's absolutely right. That is absolutely
beautiful answer.
Huge. Yeah, definitely. So let's get into it. So we talk.
Hold on for a second. I just want to ask a question because there's something you just brought up, Nate Carter, and so you and Nate Carter not only share a couple. You guys have a lot of things in common. You're wearing the green and white. You're transfers from the East Coast. You guys both are great men of faith, and man, both recently engaged. Now that's incredible right there. Here's a picture. Gotta have faith in the Spartan, Mom Stray.
So talk to us about that. Talk to us about your fiance.
Oh, she's awesome. She's one of the big reasons why I actually was able to come to my faith. I always kind of believed, but I never truly knew what it meant to be a believer and a follower of Christ. My whole life, I just thought, if I believe I'm good, I'll go to heaven. But she helped me fully understand that it's a relationship that God seeks with us. Because when Jesus died on the cross, not only did he die for our sins, but the veil was torn. And before that veil was torn, we couldn't be in the presence of God without dying. And since that is torn, we are now free to enter God's presence and just be with him in constant communication with him. So she has been a huge role in me growing in my faith, which has led to me being just a better athlete as well.
What's her name?
Abby Boone, soon to be Abby Kim. So
there it is.
There it is. Did you meet her at is she from North Carolina or Virginia?
She's from North Carolina. We met in poetry class. So those pictures were actually where we had class together. It was a building called Love House, and we had it out there on that porch.
Wow. Love House.
You romantic.
Yeah, buddy.
Were you nervous? You probably knew she was going to say, you're a little nervous when you're, going to do it and, ask the question. How did that go?
Oh, I was absolutely nervous the whole walk over. So usually she's the one who walks faster. And so we went to the game first, and after the game, we started walking over to the Love House. And I was walking a little bit faster because I just wanted to get there and, get it going. And so she was like, why are you we're walking pretty fast, and I think you're setting the pace. I was like, what? No.
That heart rate was up.
Oh yeah, and so we get over to the Love House, and there's a little sidewalk leading up to the front porch. And my parents and her parents had set up lights going up to it and on the pillars of the house. And we get up there, and she's like, does somebody live here? Why is it decorated? I was like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. She was like, the lights are on inside. I was like, yeah, maybe someone does live here. And we get up, and it's on the very last step to get on the porch, she's like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I love you, and I want you to be my wife. So, and that's just in short what I said. But when we walked over, so there was a tree in the front yard, and I knew there was a photographer, and I could see their leg sticking out from behind the tree. So I was worried that she would see that. She's not easy to surprise, is what I've learned.
Right.
So.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
What was more nerve-wracking, asking her to marry you or that 58-yard field goal at Kinnick Stadium?
Asking her to marry me.
No doubt about it.
No
Great
question.
answer.
Not even close.
Hey, I like having Jonathan Kim on this call right now because we got the collection plate going around. Looks like we got about $30. I don't know. Steve Smith, Doug Hagen, I appreciate you guys. Hey, speaking of that 58-yard field goal, why don't we take a look at that? Let's go down memory lane a couple weeks ago. Oh, man, it was already in the air. Do we have it in the beginning? Let's see what's going through your mind when you line up for that. I think would have been good for 62 at least.
Yeah. So the thought process going into that, obviously right before the half, when you're in your 2-minute drill there, as coaches, where your kicker feels comfortable from and what hash, you want to, try to get lined up to. So what did you tell, Coach Barnett and crew that you felt comfortable from and which hash? And just walk us through the 2-minute here.
Yeah, so going that way, I told him my range was 55 because we did have a little bit of a breeze in our face, and I don't know what it is. They just like testing me outside of my range. So I was just really excited for the opportunity. I knew there was a chance of it being a long field goal, and at 58 there's almost nothing to lose. So I just went out and I just knew that God would strengthen me. If it was meant to go through, it would go through. And God blessed me and strengthened me and allowed me to be able to do it. So just being able to know that just no man can stop God's plan. That truly just helps me stay confident in myself and just completely put faith in Him.
All right, Jonathan, as a man of faith, you're a guy who's a kicker, but you're in that locker room, you're on those sidelines, especially at practice right now. You got a team that's just gone through 4 tough losses. Obviously, the last 3 being games that clearly could have gone your way, but did not. What do you think the mood of the team is right now? And what is it going to take for Michigan State to pull off this win this weekend?
I think we just got to finish, the past 2 games, that's been it. We just haven't finished. And, there's a little bit of an extra buzz going around, it's a big week. It's rivalry week. We're playing the team down the road. So I think everyone's really excited and it's just kind of, we're all a little refreshed and feel good and are really excited that we know that it's just one more step that we need to take to start winning. And I know that we're really excited to have them come here. So.
Absolutely, Jonathan. We really appreciate you coming on here. You transferred from North Carolina. They're having a tremendous season right now. You're here, and we're at a point where we have to, turn things around. But at the end of the day, are you happy with your decision?
100%. 100%. No question. Just being here, I just feel, I feel valued here. I felt valued there too, but, I felt very valued and, God is just taking me places that I never really thought I could go. So I'm just really excited to see what else He's got planned for me here.
And we're excited to have you wearing the green and white, especially this game coming up against Michigan, in rivalry weekend, man. You've had a phenomenal season thus far, and we are all cheering for you to have a great season going forward and career. Look at what you're a wonderful young man. And, I think that, the world is you're just at the tip of the iceberg right now as far as what you're going to be able to do. You're going to do great things in life, no matter if it's football or beyond. Thank you for coming on. This is Sparta MSU, man. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Kickers need love too. Shoot, look, I love the way that you came forward with the confession, and that's big of you. We thank you for that. We do. Absolutely. Hold on, Lily. We got another interview coming up with another great Spartan, a dog, coming up here in a minute after these messages from our friends over at IHOP.
Introducing IHOP's new menu with perfectly crispy yet fluffy waffles, warm, flaky buttermilk biscuits, juicy, satisfying steak burgers, decadent eggs Benedicts, and more. It's time to find your new favorite. Don't worry, we won't tell the pancakes. Only at IHOP. Let's put a smile on your plate.
Shoot, you got to get this one, man, from the boot, baby. Let's go.
The boot, baby. And I always told this cat last year, hey, you got to get a fine restaurant and get that creme brulee NIL. And that Aaron Brule from the boot, baby, is next. His first time on This is Sparta MSU. This is Sparta MSU fam. Let's welcome in Spartan Dawg, Aaron Brule.
What's up, dog? What's up?
What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all for having me.
Man, welcome to the show, brother.
Definitely.
Hey, man. From the boot. So the boot, if that's Louisiana, in case you didn't know. I know you know, but I'm talking to those that are out there listening, the boot. So speaking of the boot, talk about your journey. You went your journey from Louisiana into Mississippi State, then to the other MSU, the greater one, up here at Michigan State.
Definitely. Yeah. I started off at Mississippi State. When I went there straight out of high school, and I had some pretty good times there. I actually was able to graduate. Still got friends there to this day. And once I was able to leave up out of there, I was thinking that I really needed somewhere to, probably a little bit away from home to just get a fresh start and for a better opportunity. And I think with Michigan State reaching out and things like that, that I was able to fulfill that and with the goals I'm trying to achieve.
You had to get away from Stark Vegas, huh?
I mean, it's Stark Vegas, but it's not like real Vegas, if you know what I mean.
What does it get that name from? Stark Vegas. Talk about that. What's that?
It's a small town, so I mean, there's not really many professional teams in that area. So if something's going on, it's in Starkville. So I'm guessing people just took that name and ran with it as far as it being Vegas, since that's the most like popular area where they're living at.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I learned that from one of my teammates. He played Anthony Dixon. I was with the 49ers running back.
Booby Dixon. Yeah.
Real good running back there.
Yeah, I don't think he ever missed a game.
Right. Yeah. So, but the great thing is you're in the green and white now. Talk to us. What are your thoughts? How's the team, feeling right now? It's rivalry week here, and like I stated in the opener, there, I don't care what the records are. What happened the last 5 weeks, the last week, or anything like that. When it's this kind of game, all those records go out the window, and it's pure hatred going from last year and going into now. Like, what's the mindset of the team?
Yeah, I don't think we've missed a beat. As y'all can see, we've come pretty close in games, and of course, close is not enough. But like Jonathan said, the margin that we have right here is so close to us being really good. And guys that's with us on this team right now, that we're definitely gonna make a push to go 8-4 the rest of the season. And whatever we have to do is what we're gonna do. And we know how rivalry weeks go. Things like you said, records go out the door, and true pride in what people do things for really comes out in these moments. And I think the team's in a really good spot, and dudes really want to win. We're itching for that win, and what not a better week to get that done.
No kidding, man. This is the week, and speaking of rivalries, you've had the opportunity to play in a couple, coming from Mississippi State. You played in that Egg Bowl down there against Ole Miss. Yeah. And you've been able to play in this game too. A year ago, you were here. Which one do you think, in honest opinion, is more intense?
I tell people this all the time, man. I think just being in the Big Ten, I think. You guys hear me?
There we go.
Yep, we got you.
Because majority of the time, it's like a darker, heavier feeling out here. And I feel like people's moods are a little bit more bad once it comes around rivalry week. I feel like down south, things are still sunny. People, they don't like their rivals, but it's become not as deep. I feel like here, you really feel, and I've come to learn in the past just year I've been here, that rivalries in the Midwest are much different than down south. I feel it's more actual blood and sweat, like that blood, that sweat that you want to really put into these rivalries here.
Wow. That's a lot. Yeah, because
I haven't been a part of a rivalry like this. I ain't gonna lie. And I really feel it. I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't really like seeing the other color.
I love it. Love it. I'm a kid that's from New York, strays from Indianapolis there. And we weren't grow up in the state of Michigan. And so when you come in, you have to learn a little bit about the rivalry at the beginning, but it doesn't take much.
It does not take much at all.
Form that hatred. For you, when was that moment?
I'd say last year when the former players and stuff like that were sending in videos and things like that. And we were able to really like that was when I was really I started to get goosebumps in the team meeting. And I was like, oh my goodness, this really is what it is. And then you see more of the history, and you see how people, when somebody tells you one thing about a school and then you notice it for yourself in a sense, it's almost like, okay, I really understand now. And then at least once or twice a month, I get that feeling okay, this is even another reason why. And I'm like, dang, it all just leads up until moments like this. And I think we're ready to go.
Man, Aaron, you're a guy who is all over the field. When I see you and we're calling games, I'll choose on the sideline watching you play. And when you get there to the point of contact, it always is with a lot of intensity and passion. You're one of the things I notice most about you is the way that you celebrate after you make a play, which does give it's infectious for the rest of the team. Where did that start for you?
You know what's so funny that you say that? I always tell myself I love to take the humble route. So when I make plays, I tell myself to just get up and don't do nothing. And then
really?
once I make the play, it's like I don't even know what I'm doing at that point. I just do something, and then I guess that's just what I naturally do. I guess it's just the dog that I have within my heart that I just feel. I mean, my mind just tells me to do it. I definitely do not plan a single celebration or nothing like that. It's just all emotion.
Stay right there. Keep doing that. Don't change a thing, man. We love it.
Definitely.
So, obviously I'm going to ask about, because I guess that's what I do. Let's go talk about the elephant in the room here. Last year, it was the tunnel incident that happened.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People want to be like, oh, we're not going to talk about, bump that. Like, it happened. It was, I think, some mistreatment on the Spartans, that we got, as a team, as a community. Those guys down the road think they invented the game of football. They think they're high up and almighty and stuff like that. And so, has there been any talk of that in the locker room this year, like to fuel the team, or no?
I don't necessarily think it fueled the team. We know what those guys stand for, and they know, and we all know that any chance that they get, they try to put anything up on our shoulders to give us that extra thing that extra milestone to have to reach in order to beat them and things like that. So I usually like to say it as whatever happened off the field doesn't even matter. So I mean, that type of stuff really, it doesn't faze us as a team. Honestly, nobody even talks about it. It's something that we feel that shouldn't have went as far as it did. But guys just really learn from situations, and however they decided to handle it was however they decided to handle it on their part, and we definitely moved past that, and that was just something that they were just trying to put in our way to just have something against us to say in the future.
Right.
Hey, that's a great answer, man. I mean, we're not going down in that. We're gonna take the high road here.
1,000%, definitely. We'll let the actions on the field. We'll let those type of things handle all that.
So it's going to be obviously a big fight field down on the field there when it's time to go. Spartan Nation, we're going to be excited about it. What is your message to Spartan fans out there right now, especially with Saturday coming up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know things get hard within when you have down years and things like that, and we're definitely going to have you guys up in y'all seats this weekend and giving you guys a great show. And we want you guys to stay true, to being Spartans. And I know pride and things like that cause people to say crazy things and things like that. But at the end of the day, everybody's Spartans, and we all want the best at the end of the day. It's just some people just take, things certain ways. And we look forward to lifting everybody's spirits.
I like that, lifting spirits, because you have a team coming in here. This is one of those situations where Michigan's ranked number 2 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in here, they got a solid offense from a defensive perspective. How do you give us a synopsis, evaluation of what you think Michigan's offense is right now?
Yeah, they love to run the ball. They got great tailbacks. They got a pretty good quarterback who we think we can get some nice licks on, and we plan on really getting after him this game. And they're just an overall pretty good team, man. They're true to what they do, and they're going to keep pounding away at you until you stop what they've got going on. And they make really good adjustments at halftime, and we got to be able to adjust with that and just get up on them early. We see that they've had some struggles early on in games, and we feel like if we get on top of them early, we'll definitely be able to have a great shot.
I like it.
If you like it, I love it, man. Hey, look, we are definitely all going to be there, tuned in, watching the game, and cheering for you, Mr. Brule, as you guys take on Michigan this Saturday at 7:30. Talk about that one second before you go. Talk about a night game atmosphere in this. We've never experienced it, by the way.
No.
It's never happened before.
Obviously, I would hope anything less than a sold-out crowd would be insane, if you ask me. So, I haven't had a crazy rivalry like this in a little bit, and I'm itching for that rivalry feeling to really, have an impact on the game and be able to give the fans what they want, man. Just a tough battle.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to interviewing you post-game and saying from the boot, baby.
Yeah, I always see you, bro. I always see you after the game, and I'm like, man, I don't even know who you interview after the game. Who is it usually that you interview?
Usually it's a coach, and then we go upstairs and do the post game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
I got you.
But
I always see you right there with the microphone. I'm like, I wonder who you waiting on right here.
Hey,
Let's see.
You go ahead, get that game-winning pick. You get a good game. I will find you on the sideline after the game.
Hey,
we're gonna celebrate.
Let's do it.
That's a bet right there, man. Appreciate it. Aaron Brule, man. Thank you for joining the show, and great luck to you this weekend against the school down the road.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me. I'll see y'all soon.
Absolutely. Aaron Brule joined This is Sparta MSU. Man, what a passionate young man. You can feel it coming through. He's just chilling. It's after practice, 8:30 at night.
He's still in the facility.
He's still there.
He's still at the facility right there. I saw the background.
Ain't no class. What did Lorenzo say?
John L said, "You're a student first and an athlete second."
Especially on Michigan week. Oh wow! Hey, listen, that was awesome by Aaron Brule and Jonathan Kim. Seeing those guys. Listen, one thing that we need to talk about, if we shift, is the recruiting update. All right, and as we go through this, obviously, what's been going on, we have to say the good with the bad. Right now, there's a couple decommitments that we have to talk about. There was a 4-star offensive lineman, Andrew Dennis, from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, decommits from Michigan State.
Yeah, we have guys that's going to decommit right now because there isn't that stability right now. There's a feeling of unknown, and we always talk about it. These are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, especially at this level, high school there. So they have, different coaches are going to be reaching out to them from all different angles. So you just, I will tell everyone that's committed right now, just stay the course, see what happens. You still have time. Stay the course, see what happens. And that's why it's always important to choose the school, not the coach. And who was it that we were talking to, that was talking about that? There was a player that we talked to, and they were talking about, the reason that, coming here is choosing the school that they're at. And it's not always about the coach, because the coach can be gone at any point in time.
Malik Carr.
Yeah. He's the one that said that.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell these, these recruits right now. And, I'll tell the same thing to the guys that's in the locker room right now who may be having, different thoughts go through their minds. So, but we're going to continue to see, decommitments happen and everything. So that's one of the biggest things that we talked about, when you sign that dotted line and when you show up on campus, that's who we're going to roll with.
Yeah, it absolutely can flip overnight, as Mama Stray says, both ways. Give the kids the benefit of the doubt. They deserve to see what exactly they're committing to. There's no hate towards the players that are making these decisions right now.
Exactly.
Syer Torrance is another one that decommitted, as well as we wrap up the decommitments for a 3-star out of Syracuse, New York.
Western New York.
Yeah, opening up his recruitment again, and that's just part of the business right now. The nature of the beast, what have you, after having the turmoil and the coaching ranks that you have, and obviously the negative recruiting that's going to happen along with that. But the very thing that'll make you laugh, make you cry, and that same thing can make you laugh again. So just hold on for a minute, and it ain't over until it's over. Speaking of things make you laugh, there is a great commitment we can talk about. Legacy player Jason Richardson's son in basketball. He's going to play for Tom Izzo in Michigan State.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. When you have someone that, Jace can come and he knows his dad's walked this campus, walked these halls, played in that gym, and now he has the opportunity to do that. He's going to be, told exactly what to expect from Coach Izzo. He's going to have that, opportunity to talk to his dad and get all those insights. So I think it's a really good fit for him. He knows exactly what he's coming into. Shout out to the Richardson family. Shout out to Coach Izzo. Shout out to the hoop team, because they're really, rolling right now.
that is the understatement of the century. They're rolling right now. And they haven't played a game, and we're just so excited about Michigan State basketball, everything that is going on over there with Tom Izzo, the 25 consecutive March Madnesses, the tournaments earned, and the preseason poll, ranked number 4 in the AP poll.
Yeah, number 4. So this is good and bad. I hate it when we're all the way up top. I just like to just make a steady climb throughout the season, because it's you have every team, and we talked about this I remember interviewing Coach Izzo at the spring game, and you talked about having a bullseye on their back, and he's like, yeah, we embrace it. And we had Coach Kelly last week, and he said the same thing too. So these players are embracing it as well. So it should be good. We are where we are. We are who we are. We should embrace it. Let's get excited about it.
Absolutely. I mean, we got some updates here. Who team's holding it down? That's Doug Hagen. But somebody said, Johnny C, free admission to the green and white game on Saturday at 2:30 at the Breslin Center. Hey, who would have thunk it? I don't know. Free admission to the Breslin Center to see those guys play? I'm there. That's Saturday before the little game.
Go practice your cheering. Go practice your cheering in the Brez.
Yeah.
Go out for a little tailgate action.
Me.
Get after it.
Oh man, nothing better.
I might sneak down in there.
Heck yeah, 2:30. Yeah, we don't have to get on the air until about 5. Okay, we got some time. You don't have to do all your tailgating responsibilities until like around there. So we got some time. I like that, Johnny C. Nothing better than taking the tailgating break to go watch a top 5 team. You're absolutely right. I love it. I mean, listen, I'm changing plans as we are on this show, live coming to you. Also, let's talk about Midnight Madness. So it also took place this past weekend in the Breslin Center.
MSU madness.
I'm sorry. I'm reading directly from producer Tony. He said midnight.
Right in the
over here it says MSU madness. You're right. My bad. I messed up.
If that's the worst thing you do, you'll be all right.
Oh, you ain't kidding. It's being changed right now. All right, love it. All right, guys. MSU madness this past weekend. Listen, we got some video. Look at that. Hey, man, did they scoot that up like 10 feet?
No, that's legit. Free throw line. We got guys that are just skying right now. Woo!
It's just routine.
Everybody. Bunnies.
Oh, wow, man.
Yak it. Woo!
Dang.
I know,
right? Jordan. Oh, man.
Got some bunnies. Oh,
Whoa.
no. Oh, no.
What was that?
Oh, no. Could you imagine if he did that in the game?
My bet is he can and probably will.
Cohen Carr is a freak, Johnny C. You're right.
Like beyond freakish.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy what he's able to do. Listen, Chew, like we talked to Jonathan Kemp, Aaron Brule. We covered a little bit of the MSU madness. We've got to talk about what happened this past weekend. We've got to do it. I know it was raining. That was your first time down in the rain. We're over in Piscataway, New Jersey at Rutgers. We got to break down exactly what went wrong, obviously, for this particular game after these messages from SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Well, I love SeatGeek and I love IHOP. I thank you guys for being sponsors, but guess where they watching us from, Chew?
Where?
They're watching us from Ireland, one of your favorite towns right there in Ireland, Dublin, Ireland.
Have a pint, Mike.
Have a pint. We got Roma, Italy. We've got the Cameroons, baby. What's going on, fam? Cameroon. Yes. And we got Flint, Michigan once again.
Flint Town.
Hazlet, Michigan. I think that might be Otis. he's doing some guys work over there in Hazlet, Michigan, and Lansing, Michigan. Thank you all. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. I see a lot of chatter about the like, but hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Go out in the chat. Go hit it. Come on back. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into the Rutgers recap. And what's your thoughts on, first of all, Caden Hauser's first start at quarterback?
Yeah, I thought Caden Hauser came out there. He played a good game. I thought he got bailed out in some ways by some different, stuff went our way, but he stood in the pocket. This was an absolute strike, going down the middle here for the first touchdown. And the offense was humming on all cylinders. His offensive line gave him time. Him seeing that, and a designed run play up the middle there, taking advantage of what the defense is giving you. So I thought he came in and did a good job, but it's going to be, I want to see a full body of work again, to continue. I want to see some progression going on there, and I want to see that offensive line protect their quarterbacks. That's one of the big things there. Our quarterbacks are getting hit too much, but I thought overall the offense did a good job. I thought defensively we did a good job at the beginning of the game, and then later in the fourth quarter, there's something I didn't like a lot was we weren't wrapping up when we were tackling. We were going with a lot of throwing shoulders at them, and you can't do that, especially when it's raining. When it's raining and a running back is running, especially a big back, running backs love playing in the rain, because defenders are going to slip off you. So if you don't wrap up, you got to wrap up extra tight and wait for your other guys for pursuit to come. But if you just lay a shoulder, you're going to just slide right off that defender. So we got to do a better job of wrapping up. But the big thing, that really disappointing thing is, our special teams. We had, and I played, at Michigan State, played a lot of offense, running back, everything. Didn't play much on special teams.
Hold on for a second before you get into the special teams, because I know you're going to go deep on that. So what you broke this down. You just kind of glazed over that. So this guy, Kyle Manungai, the running back from Rutgers, was not a reincarnation of Christian Okoye and Derrick Henry. They didn't get together and have a baby, and he could just land in Piscataway, New Jersey, because it looked like he was unstoppable force. I'm talking Thanos level as he was running the ball, especially.
What did he have in the second half? 111 yards in the second half. Yes. He was bottled up, nicely in the first half because we were crawling to the football. We're having, gang tackles. But the second half, I saw guys just throwing their bodies at him. And I think the defense was on the field a little too much in the second half because we couldn't have, drives, consistent time-consuming drives from the offense. So that's one of the things, this Manungai guy, and then the thing too, like I talked about, if you get a running back in that flow, that he knows that he can run the football, that's a different thing because confidence is a hell of a thing. Confidence is a hell of a drug, especially in the game of football. So that's the big thing there.
Yeah, and these stats are brought to you by Maine Financial, our stat breakdown here. You talk about what Kyle Manungai was able to do in the first half. He only had 7 carries for 37 yards, or actually 36 because he had a 1-yard loss. Ends up with 148 yards on the ground and was able to churn up so much clock at the end of that game and kept the ball away from Caden Hauser and company. As you said, they weren't able to sustain drives either. So there, the onus goes both ways, but there's 3 phases in the game of football. You got the offense, you got the defense, and you definitely have special teams. Chew, you being a NFL special teams guru, you've been with some of the best coaches in America that understand this thing to the nth degree. Let's break down what happened in Piscataway.
I playing tailback at MSU was only on 1 special teams, and then I did 2 special teams. And my senior year, I did kick return as well. When I got to the NFL, my career was prolonged. I played 5 years. My career was prolonged an extra 4 years because of special teams. And I took pride in that. You learn that special teams. I was with some of the best special teams coaches, Mike Westhoff, great. He's going to be a Hall of Famer for, a coach in there. Flip, who's now with the Eagles, the special teams guy there. And I'm telling you, this is like one of the special teams books, one of the special teams playbooks. This is it, just special teams right here. That was the Bible. So I understand when it comes to special teams, the integrated facts. So that's this book here that I
NFL security might show up at your door too. You better be careful showing that.
I know, that's why I'm not showing which team it is. So they all have to
be careful.
So all these things in here, all right, it's different situations. It's all different situations. Because remember when we talked about it, when the ball went out of bounds, and talk about stepping out with 1 foot and 1 foot in bounds and touching the ball. Those are things that you talk about as a special teams unit. So you have to go, and when you get lined up. So when the first mishap that happened was the illegal formation. We had 4 guys in the backfield on the punt.
Yeah.
Deep in our end zone, in our territory. We had 4 guys in the backfield on that. That's illegal formation. You have to have worked on that, because all last week we talked about there's discipline. If you get a penalty, you're going to get called out in front of the team and talk about it. So you had to practice that, and you have to know exactly where you're going to go, what you're going to do your count and everything. So we did that. We punted the ball down. Our guys ran down the field. The flag was called. As a receiving team, as a team that was offended on the play, you have an option to either, decline the penalty and get the ball where it's at.
It wasn't a great punt.
Yes, or it was a bad punt, but you make them re-punt it. You have that option. The reason that you do that is 2 things. One, these guys already ran down the field, so they're going to be tired when they come back. So you could have some mishaps and get a block, or you could get a return because they're running down slower. Or the second thing, and it happened in this case, if you're playing in bad weather, you hope for a miss snap. The snap was good. The punter just didn't catch it and look it in on this. Just like that. It hit him in the hands. You got to catch it. And then after that, you don't try to fall on it. You're just try to bat it, kick it out of bounds. 2 points is better than 6 points. So those are the things when you talk about special teams, you have to be talking about and coaching up those situational plays in the special teams department there. All right.
Hold on. So going back to the 4 in the backfield, is that something like just a player is just rogue and just forgetting it, or is this coaching? What part of this, in your expert opinion, what happened here?
I think it's a combination of, you got to coach, you got to instill those in the kid's head every time you talk about formations. Because if you line up illegally in practice, there's referees at practice, they'll fire a flag up, and you would know as a player, okay, I did this and that, I can't do that. I'm going to go and I'm going to run up to the line and line up there. You have your gunners out there. They say, hey, I'm on. You have 5 guys on. So that's your 7. You got to be all on, and you got to look down the line. It's just like when you line up, as an offense, Stray, you look down the line, and all those guys' helmets are at your hips, correct?
Yeah, it's all splits. Offensive line, everybody's looking at their feet, like how far are we?
So you got to know that, and you got to understand those things. And one thing that I absolutely hate, I hate the fact in college football that we've gone to the spread punt. Call me old school. I like the traditional NFL line up there where you're in there. There's less of that chance for you to get those illegal formations on punt because you're lined up. Your 2 wings are right there where they're supposed to be. You reach out, you can touch the tackle's hip. That eliminates the potential of illegal formations on the punts. I hate the spread punt in college. So that's the first one there.
Okay.
And then the second thing, it's I gotta say, I'm just, when I was on the sidelines and we're up 3, it's 8 minutes and something left on the clock, and we have our hands team out there. I don't understand why the hands team was out there. They're not going to kick an onside kick. You can just stop it. Don't play yet, please. And right now here, they're not in any formation for a hands team. There's 5 and 5 on each side. So, it's not going to be a surprise kick. The way the kicker's looking and his position and everything.
Half the fans had already left at this point, by the way.
The fans are gone. But if you are going to put your hands to him, no matter what it is, what a special teams unit does, it's the same thing as an offensive unit or a defensive unit. In change of possessions, you huddle up on the sidelines, and there's things that you tell your guys. So if you're going to put your hands team out there, I remember specifically when we didn't know, if there was going to be onside or not, you would line up, and this is what the special teams coach would tell the players. Front line, you have L1, L2, L3. The two guys in the back, you guys are ball men. The front guys, if it's coming to you, if it's coming fast, duck out of the way. Don't even try to get the ball. And in this case here, if you don't know if it's going to be an onside kick or not, you tell the deep guy, if they kick it deep to you, you have two options. Option one, fair catch it. If you call a fair catch, if they come down and hit you, it's going to be a penalty. So they're going to give you some grace period there, a little 3-yard, 2-yard halo buffer area there. Or if you catch it, run and go down. Don't risk getting hit and getting the ball knocked out, and don't risk getting a shot taken on you. So catch it, get what you can, and go down. So that's what you're told as a special teams unit when you huddle on the sidelines before you go out onto the field. So I think that communication has to happen, and you have to know now as a player, a kickoff, the ball is live. It's not like a punt where it can hit the ground and bounce around, and if they touch it, it's them and anything like that. You have to field the football. Do what you can to catch the football. In this case, call a fair catch, go under it, catch the football. If you drop it while catching, that's more excusable than just dropping it. So you have to communicate that with your special teams. So we have going here, the kick going down, and then just not that sense of urgency for it. But I don't think we put our kids in a bad position by one lining up with the hands team already to begin with there. So those are some things that I think needs to be cleaned up if we want to continue to have the season that we're having.
I mean, it was a massive void. If you go back to that scene right there, after the ball was kicked, it seemed like there was nobody in the intermediate area.
There isn't, because they had their hands team out there.
So what should it have been? Should it have been a different team where people are like the two guys that are here at the 40-yard line? You need somebody at the 30, right?
You need to put your return team, your regular return there, and you tell your guys up front, be ready for the onside. And then what you can do, because traditionally when you have a regular return, you're going to have everyone lined up there on the 50. You're going to have some guys on the 40, and you're going to have two off returners on about the 20, and their deep returner will be back. So you tell the guys on the 40 or the 30 to move up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you'll still have the guys on the 20 there that can still make a fair catch. Your up men that they're called. So that is the thing there, but we didn't do that.
Wow. Tough game. I can't tell you how many people have called or texted me and said, why did he even touch the ball? And I think there's a lot of people who confuse a kickoff with a punt. Right. They think that if the ball is, bouncing there, then you just need to stay away. Like, Peter. That's not the case on the kickoff.
You know why they call Peter?
Why they call it Peter?
I can't say it on air.
well, can't tease us like that. This is a family show, so we're not going to go there. But definitely. Like, people, this is when the ball travels 10 yards on a kickoff, not punt. Yeah, it's totally different. It's live.
It's fair ball. And you got those, you put your team at a disadvantage because you have those guys screaming down there, and you have guys that are just 10 yards away. So you can't, they're going to be taught to avoid and go. And now it's free game. That's why I said, if you're going to do that and they kick it deep, you tell your guy, catch it and get what you can and go down, because those guys are screaming down. You don't want to take that type of hit.
I think I saw Rolanda in the chat say, I don't know why he didn't fair catch that. That's high IQ by Rolanda there on special teams. She must have been hanging out with you to know that.
Yeah, that's what I said. You have the two options. One, you fair catch it, so you get that halo. Two, you catch it and get what you can get. But hey, that's that. It is what it is. We
It
are who
is
we
what
are.
it is.
I'm talking special teams. Sure, I'm sweating here, boy.
It's part of the deal. Listen, and don't think I didn't. Hey, Spartan MD, I saw that. You brought up Purdue. I know what you brought. You brought up Purdue 1997 is what you did. You talked about being down 12 or 13 points. There it is right there. Reminded me of those games when we lose to Purdue, which in a few minutes locks when we were up by 12 or 13. It was up by 11. It was 21-10.
Straight Mac. He was in that game.
Whew, that was a tough one. But this one might top that because of the spread of the game. I mean, we weren't quite we were in the fourth quarter in that particular game. It was late. And it was 2 touchdowns, a blocked field goal. I believe it was a blocked punt, actually. Blocked punt. And then Drew Brees is a guy that was sharing time. You know who that is?
Yeah. That scar on him there. Legend has it. When he got to college, his parents said, we can get you surgery to get that removed, that little mold there, or you can get a new car. And so he chose a car.
Hey, he got it removed now. Right. I think his bank account says he's good with that. Mr. Drew Brees, he was just a young freshman at that time, but he helped Purdue come back and beat Michigan State in that particular game. Yeah, down 11 points. And yeah, that was a tough one. 12-point comeback. This one was 18. Actually, what was it? 21 unanswered points by Rutgers in this particular game in order to go ahead.
And you know the crazy thing? We were all just all like, oh, look at Colorado. They let Stanford come back.
Who was hee-hee-ha-ha? Who?
Everybody was hee-hee-ha-ha-ing.
Not me.
Everybody was hee-hee-ha-ha-ing.
You remember you guys were like, they lost?
Yeah.
So many people didn't even know that Colorado had lost.
Yeah, everyone went to sleep thinking, oh, they're up 29.
Yeah. It ain't over till it's over. And I think that's one of the things that we heard from both Jonathan Kim and Aaron Brule today was the mantra. You hear that from head coach Harlan Barnett, too. He's saying, we got to finish. That's the next phase. And everybody wants a team of this caliber to be able to snap their fingers and be able to get all those things implemented. But it's tough. There's a new sheriff in town in the building. And the talent is obviously there. The heart, the will, the drive is there. Mm-hmm. But just coming up short. It's hard for all of us now.
Absolutely.
It's hard for you, me, all of us. But they're close. And as you said in the opener, this is rivalry week. You got to throw the records out the window. Who knows what's going to happen on Saturday? What we know is there's going to be a whole lot of motion going on. And there's going to be some heavy hitting. Pads cracking, Chew. Hey, man, what are your thoughts on this weekend?
Hey, man, I'm excited about it. Hell, I get caught up in rivalry week. I think last time I was on the sidelines for the full game. It was that game, the overtime Larry Caper. That's my favorite memory there. Larry Caper running in there, doing that Caper kick. I think I even got in a fight with the Michigan ball boy on the sideline that game. But
you got in a fight? Man, and Spartan MD also brought up the big comeback by Michigan State. I think that still is a record, 35 points down.
At Northwestern. Yeah, I was part of who started it. Caught a nice little pass in a scramble drill.
You got to be a part of history, and you were. Congratulations on that. So, it goes both ways. Sometimes you're on the good side of it, and obviously we're on the bad side of it in that particular game. So
can you give Spartan MD? He's all on the ledge right now. He's shirt unbuttoned, drinking cheap scotch, and thinking that it's over. Give him something good to go to sleep with. 8 years ago, Stray, what happened?
Yeah, this is an anniversary gift for everybody here. And this is what we're going to end the show on, because today, 8 years ago, today, on this very day, maybe it was about this time, close to about this time. I remember being in that city, that chick Ann Arbor, whatever she is down the road.
Who is she?
Yeah, you know what she is. We're in the booth, me and George, and this is how it ended, and this is how we're going to end the show for everybody. So, from Jehuu Caulcrick, Jason Strayhorn, this is Sparta MSU. Have a good night. God bless you. Good night. But listen, here we go with 8 years ago today.
Coming after him. Bad snap. Bobble. Scooped up. Here come the Spartans. Down the sideline. Racing into the end zone.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Into the end zone is Jalen. Watts. Jackson. Touchdown, MSU.
Touchdown!
Folks, no flags. The
No
Spartans
flags! Oh my God!
piling on each other in the end zone. It's over. The Spartans win again. The Spartans win again.
George, what a call. My God. My God. How did that happen?
This is Sparta MSU is a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Tony LaBarbera, Tony Gustella, and Process Driven Consulting. Additional support is provided by Brendan Duravage. On-location technical support provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our host Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta news, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.